Hey everybody, it's Beth from Yoga and Reiki Bliss. Welcome to week 3. I thought today we would focus on finding some strength through our upper back and opening up our chest. So often we have a recurring position, right, that happens in our bodies. As we're typing, as we're reading, as we're looking at cell phones, as we're driving, we start moving into this rounded, caved in position, which makes it difficult to access our breath. It puts a lot of stress and strain on the spinal muscles, overstretching them even. So I thought we'd focus a little bit, as I said, on working on strengthening those muscles and opening our heart. And when we open up our chest, open up our heart, we're much more available, present, able to connect. So I wanted to start out, as always, with a little inspiration. This is from Thich Nhat Hanh, Peace is Every Step. Just something to keep in mind as we move and breathe together. It's just a passage called Meditation on Love. If love is real, it will be evident in our daily life, in the way we relate with people in the world. The source of love is deep in us, and we can help others realize a lot of happiness. One word, one action, or one thought can reduce another person's suffering and bring him joy. One word can give comfort and confidence, destroy doubt, help someone avoid a mistake, reconcile a conflict, or open the door to liberation. One action can save a person's life or help him take advantage of a rare opportunity. One thought can do the same, because thoughts always lead to words and actions. If love is in our heart, every thought, word, and deed can bring about a miracle. Because understanding is the very foundation of love, words and actions that emerge from our love are always helpful. So, as we practice today, just trying to keep that thought in mind, that our actions, be them on the mat, off the mat, have an opportunity to impact someone. So let's try to open up our hearts, bring a little strength to our spine, with the hopes that within that open heart, you never know who you're going to connect with. You never know who you're going to bump into, say something to. And just your words coming from that place of open-heartedness and from love can make a change in their life. So let's find a comfortable seat. I encourage you to sit up on a blanket. I also encourage you to have a couple of blocks or books nearby. If you don't have them, don't sweat it. But if you do, grab them. And as you find your comfortable seat, as always, we're working to bring the hips over the thighs so the pelvis is upright, so the curves of the spine are in their natural state. And just taking a moment for your own self to feel centered and grounded, because we really can't be available to anybody else if we are not taking care of ourselves first. So allowing for ourselves to feel centered and grounded, allowing for our own self-love, right? Showing that love, that kindness to within our own thoughts and action and words to ourselves, so that we can do so for others. So start with your seat. As you sit, just take a moment to make sure you're not leaning into one side or the other. You're not curling back on your tail. If you are, and it's difficult to tilt the pelvis upright, sit a little higher. Also make sure you're not leaning forward, right? That you have a little sense of balance almost, for lack of a better word, but a balance between those 4 points. There's 2 sitting bones on either side of your bum, the front and the back of your pelvis. And then from there, let your spine rise up right through the center of your skull. You're welcome to close your eyes or drop your gaze and just take a few minutes to crawl inside your breath and just to feel yourself breathing. As you breathe, letting the belly muscles become a little more receptive, a little soft so the diaphragm can move down as you inhale. Feel that swell through the belly, through the ribs. And then as you exhale, gently drawing the belly back, letting the diaphragm float back up, exhaling your breath. And as you breathe in next, go ahead and bring your hands to prayer at your heart. And gently bow your head into your heart. Making sure as you do that, you don't let your upper back round in. Rather, just bring a little feeling of lift to your heart, to your prayer, as you bow your head on in. And take a moment for your own self to make an offering of your practice first to yourself, and then bring into your mind and into your heart someone you'd like to offer your practice to. Offer this practice of heart opening, this practice of kindness, this practice of love. And the next time you exhale, gently guide all your breath out. And let's breathe in together to share in a one long Om, breathing in. Gently release your hands as you exhale next. And with your breath in next, let your eyes float open. We're going to keep the spine upright. Let the hands just rest on your thighs, nice and easy. You might even draw your elbows back by your waist. And just allow your head to bow, your chin to your heart. But again, trying not to let the upper back round right now. Just notice if there's any little sense of stretch, opening, release through the back of your neck. And breathe. And then slowly as you inhale, float your head back up. And take a couple of little shoulder circles, rolling your shoulders back. And as you do, pay really close attention to when the shoulder blades go, or the shoulders go back, that you can hug the shoulder blades in and slide them down. Go do that one more time, and then we'll reverse it. So draw the arms back, shoulder blades in like they're kissing, then lift the shoulder blades up, round forward, feel the shoulder blades part, and drop the arms, the shoulders down. And take a few shoulder circles forward like that. Just trying to feel all those little movements, and do that one more time. Great. Now we're going to take your right arm out to the side, the thumb faced up. We're going to internally rotate it so the thumb's facing down. And take it behind you, and just let it rest as far across your upper back, your lower back as you can without creating any pain. If there's pain here, dial it back, or even hand to hip. And then from here, you're going to let your head tilt to the left, so your left ear drawing to your left shoulder. Front ribs soft, spine lifted, so the abdominals engaged for support. And then you can take your left hand up and over and hold the little notch along your right jaw. And again, just breathe gently. Then as you inhale, slowly slide your head back up, release your hand, release your other arm. And we'll do the same on the other side. Take the left arm out to the side, thumbs up. Then we're going to internally rotate it, thumb down. Slide your hand to hip, partway through the low back or all the way across, whatever feels okay on your shoulder. And then you're just going to let your head tilt to the right, so your right ear is moving towards your right shoulder. And really sweetly, gently place your hand right on top that little notch around your jaw, so that even your touch reflects that feeling of sweetness, of kindness, of love. And breathe gently. Let your breath start to reflect those qualities as well. And slowly, as you inhale, bring your head back up. Release your arm. Release your other arm. Lovely. All right, from here, we're going to do one last thing seated. If you need to change the crossing of your legs, change the crossing of your legs. Again, we're going to start with the right arm. You're going to reach your right arm forward with your thumb faced up. You're going to breathe it up alongside your ear. And just as it glances back behind your ear, I'd like for you to internally rotate it so the thumb faces down and sweep it back, circling it back to come down and rest on your thigh. We'll do the same thing on the left. Breathe your arm forward, thumb faced up. Take that arm up. As you do, keep reaching from the sides of your waist through your ribs, through your shoulder blade. As it glances back, you're going to inwardly rotate the arm at the shoulder socket. The forearm will follow. Thumb is face down. Circle back to come down. Right arm again. Breathe in. As that arm rises up, keep inviting the upper abdominals to engage so you don't move into that back bend. Inwardly rotate your arm. Reach back, 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 back to come down. We'll do that again. And on the left side, breathe the left arm. Forward, thumb is up. So there's that external rotation. Now as your arm glances back, inwardly rotate it, thumb face down. Keep reaching back, 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 back to come down. Last time, big breath in. Inwardly rotated, exhale your breath as you reach back to come down. One more time, inhale. Inwardly rotate it, exhale, reach back to come down. Wonderful. And just take a moment to notice how your chest, shoulders, arms, neck, this whole area right up here feels like. And then we'll shift from that place of awareness. Shift right out onto your hands and your knees. Feel free to blanket up under your knees. As always, I'm going to stack the hips over the knees, the hands under the shoulders. And let your fingers spread. Make sure as you're working here, you're not just dumping the weight into the heels of your hands, that you're spreading out right into your fingertips, giving a little push the earth away. And remember those arms that were externally rotated? You're going to find that, but you're going to balance it by just rotating the arms, the forearms in, and anchoring the space between the thumb and the first finger. So that it might feel like your outer upper arms are hugging towards each other. We're just going to move nice and easy through a few cat and cows. So as you breathe in, let your pelvis tilt forward so it feels like your tail lifts, and start to articulate through your lower back, a little back bend, your middle back, your upper back, and the head might lift a little bit. Keep pushing the earth away so you're not just sinking in here. And as you exhale, curl your tail round through your spine. And just moving very slowly, very carefully. Inhale, let the pelvis tilt forward. Creep that back bend through your lower back, your middle back, your upper back. Keep pushing the earth away, and then exhale, curl the tail under. Belly scoops in as you round the low back, the mid back, the upper back, the head. Let's do that again on your own breathing cycle. Then we'll breathe into a nice neutral spine. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees up just a little bit. And then from here, just going to walk your feet toward your hand. As you arrive here, set your feet maybe a little bit like sitting bone distance apart. Feet as turned forward as you can. Take a moment to just bow in, drape in on yourself. Keep the knees soft so you could create a feeling of softness and ease in the body, at least for this moment. Go soft, go sweet. And enjoy a nice long deep breath in. And a little sigh out. Then crawl your hands right up onto your thighs and roll yourself in up. And we'll come to stand. From here, we're going to start with a little feeling of retraction through the shoulder blades. So this part, gently hugging in. We're going to start with the arms out in front, just like you had it a moment ago, thumbs faced up. As you organize your Tadasana, just like when we were sitting, make sure the weight's not too far back into your heels, too far forward into your toes, somewhere in between. Draw your belly in and up. As you do that, the frontal hip points will lift a little bit, the tail will drop, not to the point where you're tucking, right? We want that feeling of the pelvis sitting right on the thigh bones. Keep a little feeling of support, right, through the abdominals. And then as you exhale next, you're going to draw the elbows straight back, draw the shoulder blades together. Make sure the shoulders aren't hugging up to your ears. Rather, draw the blades a little down your back, towards your waist. Again, breathe in, arms outstretched. As you exhale, draw the elbows in, draw the shoulder blades together, retraction, and slightly down. And one more time, breathe in, and breathe out. And then stay here and breathe at 2 breaths, and just notice the opening in your chest. Keep the abdominals engaged so you don't move into a big banana. Good, now let's breathe the arms forward and up. As you exhale, draw your prayer through center and fold. And we're going to do that same arm pull like you're pulling weeds here. If you need to bend your knees, you can bend your knees. As you inhale, draw your elbows up by your waist, draw your shoulder blades towards each other and down towards your waist. Exhale and reach forward and down. Inhale, a little bend in the knees. Draw the elbows up, shoulder blades towards each other and towards your waist. Support with your abdominals. And release over. And do that one more time. Big breath in as you open the heart. Big breath out as you release. Good, with the breath in, sweep the arms out to the sides. Rise up. And invite your hands to prayer at your heart. So we're going to add that pulling in feel, that pulling the weeds feel as we move through a few vinyasas. So set your Tadasana up. Again, the weight between the heels and the balls of the feet with the toes taking on a little bit of weight. Tops of the thigh bones back a little. Draw the belly in and up. Tail lengthening downwards. Engage the abdominals. Breathe the arms forward. Rise up. As you exhale, draw your prayer through center from your hips. Fold on over. Breathe in a little bend in the knees. Draw the elbows up, shoulder blades in and toward your waist. Exhale, release. Take your right leg back into a lunge behind you. I'm going to slip my blanket out just so it's out of the way. And then from here, just a moment of downward facing dog. Come back to the feeling of your hands rooting out all the way into your fingerprints. Come back to that feeling of hugging your outer upper arms towards each other as you balance that by grounding into the space between the thumb and your first finger. As you inhale, shift forward into your plank. Right? Wiggle your feet back as you need to bring your shoulders directly above your wrists. Keep the support of your abdominals. And then as you exhale, just gently lower the knees down, untuck the toes, see if you can lower the rest of the body as a unit. Now here's where I'd love for you to grab your blocks or your books, and you're going to hold them with the palms of your hands, right? Take your arms behind you. So you're holding a little bit of weight on each hand. As you breathe in, just going to lift your chest up off the ground, your head up off the ground, just a few inches, not very high. Let your arms lift a little bit higher. And as you exhale, draw your shoulder blades together. The arms will kind of come towards each other. And as you inhale, widen the arms a few inches to the sides. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades together, bring the arms towards each other. Inhale, let it widen a few inches. Exhale, hug it in. Good, keep grounding the tops of your feet. Breathe in, let it widen. Draw the shoulder blades together, bring the arms towards each other. 2 more times if you can. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep supporting with your abdominals. One last one. Breathe out, hug in. Good, stay here. Take a breath in. And then exhale, lower everything back down. You can slip your hands out from the blocks. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows by your waist, hugging in. With an inhale, press up to your knees and downward facing dog. So you breathe in, take your right leg straight up and back behind you. Good, now externally rotate that leg so your toes are pointing to the right. And now take your leg out to the right just a few inches. Bring it back to the left a little bit. Parallel your legs so you feel that difference. You feel those glutes turning on. Then as you exhale, bring your knee forward. Step your foot forward into a lunge. Take a breath in, reach back through your back leg, forward through your heart. As you exhale, step forward to fold. With a breath in, sweep out, rise up. As you exhale, draw your hands through prayer. From your hips, fold on over. Breathe in, bend your knees a little bit, draw the elbows up by your waist, stretch your heart forward. Exhale and release. Let's do all that on the left side. Breathe your left leg back into a nice long lunge. As you exhale, step right into your dog shape. Find your hands, your arms, everything you were working on. Give a little push of the earth away. So you start to feel like you're lifting up from the creases of your hips. As you breathe in, shift your way forward into plank. As you exhale, lower the knees, untuck the toes, elbows hugging by your waist as you lower the rest of the way down. Let's find the hands on the blocks again. And let's do that little sequence with the arms. This way if you didn't catch it the first time, you can catch it here. Ground the tops of your feet. With a breath in, lift your chest, your head a few inches. As you breathe in again, you're going to lift your arms up a little bit. As you exhale, hug your shoulder blades in. Inhale, let it widen. Exhale, hug the blades in, the arms come in. Inhale, let the arms widen a little bit. Exhale, hug in. Breathe in, let them widen. Exhale, hug in. 2 more times if you can. Breathe in and breathe out. Good, so strengthening the spinal muscles, strengthening the rhomboids in between the shoulder blades. Stay for 1 more inhale and exhale, let it go. Slip your hands out, hands under your shoulder. With a breath in, press your way back up, tuck your toes, lift your hips down, dog. Now go ahead, breathe your left leg straight up and back behind you. Deliberately, consciously, externally rotate it. Your toes now pointing toward the left. Take your leg out to the left, a little abduction, so you start to feel the glutes turn on. Now bring your leg back in. Internally rotate it to neutral so you can feel that. Then as you exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Take a breath in. Get long, reaching back through your right leg forward through your heart. And step forward to fold in into yourself. Breathe in, sweep out and rise up. Exhale, draw your hands through prayer. And fold. Inhale, bend your knees, draw your elbows up by your waist, draw the shoulder blades together and down to your waist. Exhale and release. Breathe in and step your right leg back and put your right knee on the ground. If you need a blanket under your knee, you can certainly have that. As you breathe in, give a little hug of your inner thighs towards each other. As you exhale, let your hips drop a little forward and down. And then from here, maybe you crawl your hands up a little higher onto your blocks. See what that feels like. As you're working here, maybe you bring in a little support of the belly as you draw the shoulder blades towards each other a little bit and a little towards your waist. You don't have to overdo this. Just get out of this habit. Stay a breath more. Then place your hands on the ground and let's take it back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. See if you can start to get a sense as you're here Then you start to draw the thighs back away from your hands for one more inhale and one more exhale. As you breathe in, shift your way forward. As you exhale, lower the knees, untuck the toes, lower the rest of the body as a unit. Good. This time, let's take the arms straight back alongside you without your blocks. Keep the feet grounded. Keep the belly in and up. As you inhale, you're going to lift your arms up a few inches. Start to draw the shoulder blades together. Start to lift your chest, your head. Good. As you hug the shoulder blades together, let them move a little towards your waist. So a little variation on baby cobra. One last breath. And exhale and release. Breathe in. Press your way to your hands and your knees. Downward facing dog. Enjoy your breath in. And enjoy your breath out. Let's breathe the right leg out to the sky, straight up, super parallel. Exhale, bring your knee forward, step your foot forward, and we'll place the left knee on the ground. Get a blanket if you like. As you breathe in, hug your legs towards each other. As you exhale, drop the hips a little forward and down. Then we're going to crawl the hands up onto your blocks. Again, same idea. Try to draw the shoulder blades a little towards each other so the collarbones widen, the chest opens, and move your blades towards your waist. And breathe your breath. Enjoying this little extra opening in the chest and in the belly. Then return your hands to the earth as you exhale next. Inhale, fire up that back leg and step it on forward. With a breath in, sweep out and rise up. As you exhale, draw your hands through prayer. From your hips, fold on over. Inhale, draw the elbows up, shoulder blades in, pull those weaves. Exhale and release. Let's breathe in and step the left leg back. Place your left knee on the earth. Give that little hugging in and drop the hips a little bit. We're going to crawl the hands up onto the blocks again, just like you did. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other and a little towards your waist. Now take your left arm up and make a little side bend over to the right. Doesn't have to be super deep. Just enough you start to feel a little opening and a little mobility. So an opening in the left side of your waist, a little mobility through the spine. Then as you inhale, come on up. Hinge your hips a little forward, spine long. Put your forearm on your thigh. Take your right hand on top of your left wrist. And you're going to evenly press your right hand down into your left wrist up into your right hand. Try to lift up out of that left shoulder so you're not just sinking into it. And as you exhale, a little twist toward the right. Your right hip might draw back a little bit. Your belly will wrap around to the right. Your shoulders. And one last breath. And as you inhale, slowly come back to center. Exhale your hands to the earth. Breathe in, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and we'll step it back to downward facing dog. As you breathe in, shift forward into plank. You're not going to stay here. Just going to lower the knees, untuck the toes, lower the rest of the way down. You're going to use the same idea. As you breathe in, you're going to turn your palms to face your thighs. Lift your arms up just a few inches. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest, lift the head. As you're hugging the shoulder blades towards each other, move them just a little towards your waist. Not a big pulling movement. Take one more breath in and exhale your way on down. Breathe back up to your hands and your knees and right up to your down dog. Let's breathe the left leg straight up and back behind you. Exhale and step your left foot forward. Place your right knee down. Give it a little moment, hug it. Drop the hips and just take a moment to experience the sensation in the front of your hip. Then we'll crawl the hands up onto blocks. Have that moment of feeling the opening of the chest, the engagement on the back. Then we're going to breathe the right arm up. A nice easy side bend. It doesn't have to be super deep. You're just going to go to a sweet spot so that every movement continues to reflect this thought of sweetness, kindness, love. Then as you inhale, come back up. And we're going to hinge forward and put your forearm on your thigh. Same. Left hand on top of right wrist. Evenly press them into each other. So you can start to lift up out of that right shoulder and start a little spiral. So engage the abdominal muscles, but also use the spinal muscles here. So the arms aren't really trying to muscle you into this. Really trying to do it. Use this as a support and move from the strength of your abdominals and your spinal muscles that twist you. And when you're ready to inhale, come back to center. Exhale your hands to your earth or to your blocks. Breathe in, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and step it on forward. With a breath in, sweep out and rise up. Exhale your hands into your heart. Have a moment, just bow your head to your heart. Come back to whomever you brought into your mind and your heart, whoever you wanted to share this practice with, this practice of kindness and sweetness and love. And on your next breath in, let your arms reach out and rise up. Keep grounding through your feet. Belly in and up, tail a little heavy. Draw your prayer through center and fold, bowing on in. Breathe in. Draw your elbows by your waist. Shoulder blades in and down. And release on over. Take your right leg back behind you. I'm going to spin the right heel down. So as you do that, turn the toes a little bit forward. And I'd love for you to walk your left foot a little off to the left. So you have a slightly wider side-to-side stance. Press down through your feet. Come on up. And we'll just start with the hands on the hips. So we're working toward a warrior one shape. Put a little weight into your inner heel for a moment and see if you can just ground into that and really try to turn on the quadricep muscles in the front of your right thigh as you stamp that foot into the earth. Then spread out to your pinky toe on that back foot so the inner arch has a little lift, supporting the inner knee. And then from here, you're going to gently draw the belly back and up. A little lift in the hip points, a little drop in the tail. Again, we're not trying to tuck the tail under. This is a back bend, right? We want the lower back in a natural curve, not tucked and flat. So, support with the belly. Let the tail lengthen as if it were moving toward your back heel. Bend your front knee. Hopefully with this wider stance, it takes some of the pull out of the back of your pelvis. And then from here, instead of taking the arms just straight up, I'd like you to take the arms out again. Thumbs face down. We're going to draw the elbows by the waist. Before you go any deeper, engage your abdominals, make sure they're doing their job. Draw the shoulder blades together, slide them down to your waist. Now take the arms straight back. Find your hands, interlace your fingers. Draw the shoulder blades together. And give a little hugging of your heart up toward the sky. If it feels nice to engage the spinal muscles a little bit more, and bring a little back bend to the middle upper back, a little bit more, go for it. Maybe your gaze drops up. Take one more breath in, and one more breath out. And gently release your hands. Slowly take your hands back down to the earth. Pivot up onto your back toes, and step forward. As you breathe in, draw your elbows up by your waist, shoulder blades in and down your back. Exhale and release. Breathe in and step your right leg back, or your left leg rather. Spin your left heel down. Walk your right foot off to the right a few inches. Press down to come on up. And take that moment to organize your inner back heel. See if that gives you a little connection even. Sometimes when I press into that inner heel, I feel like I can connect to my inner thigh and feel that line moving not only down, but a little bit back behind me. And when that happens, I feel like I can bring my left hip a little forward. Again, not forcefully. Then you're going to spread out to the pinky toe. So the inner arch has a lift, you're not flat. And that inner knee has a little lift. And then from here, again, a little feeling of the belly lifting the tail, just sliding down the front knee. Then we're going to breathe the arms out in front, belly in. Draw the elbows back by your waist, shoulder blades hug in and slide a little down toward your waist. Now extend through your elbows behind you. Hold your hands. Maybe you put the opposite hand and take a moment before you do anything else to notice your hands holding each other. Right? How are they holding? Is it like a little death grip? Right? Can you do it sweetly, lovingly? Right? You're holding the hand of someone you love right now. Maybe invite a little back bend more into your middle upper back. Maybe your gaze tips up. Maybe you enjoy one more nice sweet breath in and one more nice sweet breath out. And then gently release. Take your hands to the earth, and this time we're going to step back. Downward dog. A nice long deep breath, yummy breath in, and breathe out. As you breathe in, shift forward plank. Again, nice and easy. Lower the knees, untuck the toes. Lower all the way down. Now from here, I'm going to play around with a couple of variations on Shalabhasana, locust pose. So make sure you have some room. If you have blocks around, clear them off. We're going to bring the forehead to the earth, arms by your sides, the palms turned to face your thighs. We've done this before. As you breathe in, you're going to lift the arms just a few inches off the earth. Breathe out, draw your belly back toward your spine, up toward your heart, so you feel that tail, right? Hip points lifting, tail moving toward your heels. Now start to draw the shoulder blades towards each other, to your waist, and let your chest lift, let your head lift. You're going to stay here, and now we're going to add in the legs. Remember your parallel legs from your three-legged downward dog. Find that with your right leg. Find that with your left leg. Keep supporting with your abdominals. Take a breath in and lower everything back down. You can rest your forehead or your cheek on the mat. And if there is any discomfort in your lower back, the back of your pelvis, you can explore widening your feet a little bit to the width of your sacrum and see what that feels like. See if that helps the next time we come in. And the variation that we're going to do this time is we're going to do that little clasping that we just did in Warrior One. So we're going to start the same way. Palms are facing your thighs. Engage your abdominals. Find your breath. Maybe it's a little higher in the rib cage. And as you inhale, take the arms up. Few inches. Draw the shoulder blades together and a little towards your waist. Curl your chest up. Hold your hands. If holding your hands creates any distress in your shoulders, keep the hands apart or use a strap between your hands. Remember your parallel legs. Breathe your left leg up. Breathe your right leg up. Good. Be gentle in your hold. Take one more breath in. And exhale. Lower everything down. Try turning your head to the opposite side. Enjoy a few breaths. And then one last thing here. We're going to take the arms out like a T. Palms will face down. Ground your feet for the moment. As you breathe in, keep the hands down and lift the chest just a few inches. Lift the face just a few inches. And as you're working on these, keep your chin neutral so it's not tipping forward, right? That's not where we want the lift. We want the lift created because of the back muscles, not your neck. Good. From here, you're going to lift the arms up to shoulder height. Now I'd love for you to contract the spinal muscles and lift up a little bit more. We'll keep the feet grounded for one more breath in. Chin a little soft to your throat. One more breath out. Enjoy a full, sweet inhale. And exhale, let everything go. And breathe. Let your arms relax. And feel your open heart against the earth. And then from here, we're going to do a little roll over onto your back. Again, make sure you have some room around you. Once you're on your back, we're going to have the knees bent. Breathe your arms open wide like a T. And draw your knees up above your hips. Your ankles in line with your knees above your hips. You've got this 90-degree angle. Feel at the hip and at the knee joint. You're going to take this shape all the way over onto your right side. Okay? And then from here, you're going to keep your knees up like they're moving towards your right elbow. Your left arm is going to be the moving body part. As you breathe in, you're going to circle your left arm up alongside your ear. Circle it out to the side. Keep circling until it comes down by your hip and comes back to meet your right hand. Let's do that again. Here's your inhale as the arm circles up. The back of the hand tracing a line, a circle out to the left. Keep circling in that direction down to your left hip. And when it comes back, it can rotate so the palms face each other. And one last time with that circle, breathing in and breathing out. Now we're going to continue this. Breathe your left arm up alongside your ear. And now reach your left arm straight out like a T. Keep reaching till your left shoulder comes onto the earth. Even if that means your left knee comes up a little bit off your right. Now if you had a blanket, you could slide it in between. All right, in this moment, I'm just going to put my right arm between my knees. And I just want to have the feeling, as I keep my knees up in line with my hips, that my lower back is more neutral. And as I keep that left shoulder on the earth, and I'm just finding a little more feeling of twist through my middle upper back. And you can play around with that and see what your experience is. You can let the left shoulder lift and bring the left knee on top of the right and see what that feels like. But I've just enjoyed bringing that left shoulder down a little bit, letting the knee come up if it needs to. And as long as there's no pain in the back, in the sacrum, sacroiliac joint area where the sacrum and the pelvis meet, you can bring a little bit of weight very gently, right? All of our actions coming from our open, sweet heart, creating open, sweet, loving actions. Wherever you are, one last breath in and one last breath out. We are going to stay for one more inhale so we can take that left arm as you exhale and circle it down by your hip and over to meet your right hand. Pause and just enjoy a moment here on your side. And then as you exhale next, draw your belly toward your spine, roll onto your back, and all the way up and over to the other side. So now you're on your left side. Your arms are reaching straight out in line with your shoulders. Your knees are in line with your hips, moving toward your left elbow. Your ankles are in a line with your knees. So you've got 90-degree angles at the hip and knee joint. Your right arm is going to be the moving body part. As you inhale, circle your right arm up alongside your ear and out to the right. Your chest will open. As you exhale, circle that right arm down by your hip and back to meet your left arm. Breathing in, the right arm circles up, your chest starts to open, the right arm circles out, and continue that circle as you exhale, circling the right arm down by your right hip and to meet your left arm. Good. And breathing, one more circle around. Now this time, as you inhale, you're going to circle your right arm up and out to the side. Place it so that your shoulder is on the earth, even if that means your right knee comes up. You can put your arm or a blanket between them. If it's a lot of space, put a block there, or even between your shins might be a good choice so that your knee can stay in line with your hip as opposed to being here. That might be a really nice choice. As long as there's no discomfort, stress, pain in this sacrum, pelvis, sacroiliac area, you can bring a little light weight, your left hand on top of your right thigh. And enjoy one more breath in and out. And then whenever you're ready to exhale next, belly to spine, and roll back onto your back. And release your feet. Now we're going to keep the knees bent here. Arms out to the side, and just feel the way your chest feels as it rests in your shoulder blades. The way your back feels as it rests in the earth. And then as you exhale, just bring your right knee toward your chest and lightly place your hands on the back of your thigh. And then we'll upstretch the right leg. And if this is challenging and you feel like you're starting to round your shoulders, grab a strap, a tie, a belt, and put it around your foot and hold here so that you can still maintain this wonderful opening through your chest. And just a few breaths, just letting the legs release. Starting to allow the back of your skull to heavy, the back of your pelvis to heavy. And then as you exhale, bend your right knee in and step your right foot to the earth. Good. Before you move to the other side, just take a moment. Feel your spine and the curves, right? Back of the pelvis anchored, the lower back a little bit lifted away from the earth. Just that natural curve. Back of your ribs, neck a little bit away. You're going to try to keep those curves as you move forward from here. Exhale, draw your left knee in. As you breathe in, we're going to upstretch the left leg. Again, either holding onto the back of the thigh or a strap around your foot. Wherever the spot is where this area can remain mostly undisturbed. Right? So you're not muscling, you're not rounding to find your own self. Right? You're not rounding it. Please breathe slowly and gently. And then with your next exhale, you'll bend your left knee, step your foot to the earth. Now, if you have a blanket, we're going to use a similar Shavasana feel that we did the other day. Where you take your blanket, you open it up, fold it in half. So it's a nice, long, thin, rectangular bolster. And then you're going to fold up the edge to make a little pillow for your head. But in this shape, the blanket supporting length of your spine, chest open. And we'll just stay here to have a few moments of Shavasana. So when you come to lie down, you're sitting in front of this, and this is going to support the whole length of your spine. If it feels too intrusive, unfold it so that it's flat, but that you can still fold a little fold of blanket under your head. So the back of your neck is elongated. You're not looking up, right? You're looking a little in toward yourself. And just begin to let the body rest. Feel the weight of your legs, and the weight of your spine and your arms and your head. Feel that feeling of the body heavying and softening all at the same time. Try to keep your attention very lightly in your breath. Just watching the gentle flow of your breath in and out. And keeping your body just as soft and still as it is right now. Feel your next breath in. And feeling the next breath out. And we're going to stay here. I just love for you to bring your hands one on top of the other, right on your heart center. And as you feel your hands on your heart, take a moment to offer yourself kindness and love and sweetness. And let that kindness and love and sweetness to yourself be reflected in the way you think of yourself, in the words that you say to yourself, the way you see yourself. Every action that you do for yourself, right? You cook for yourself, put love into it. So you're feeding yourself that love. You wash clothes, right? Put that love into that action of washing your clothes. So your clothes, when you put them on, are infused with your love. So as you start thinking of all the things that you do, imagine infusing them with your love. And bring into your heart whomever else you decided today you want to share your love with. And just hold them gently in your heart. When you're ready, put a breath in. One by one, you'll bend your knees. Carefully, as you exhale, draw your belly toward your spine. And roll to whichever side you have the most access to. Pause on your side for a moment. And find your top hand on the earth. And with the breath in, press your way all the way up to sit. You can sit right on your blanket edge. Just make sure you take a moment here, either bringing your hands to prayer at your heart, or hands on top of your heart like they just were, and bow your head on in. As you bow your head on in, really mindful of the work that you've done today. I'm strengthening your back to open your heart. As you move through the rest of your day, continue to think of the ways that you can infuse your actions, your thoughts, your words with the love that's within you. We'll end our time together by offering ourselves and each other the sound of Om. So the next time you exhale, gently guide all your breath out. And let's breathe in together. As you inhale, let that lift your heart up towards your prayer. And as you exhale, with a wide open heart, bow on over. Honor the light that's within you and all around you. Namaste. I thank you all so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Keep practicing.